the bomb went off, and all of a sudden I feel like I got fucking pushed hard as fuck. My ears are ringing extremely loud. I kind of like am like confused about what just happened. I'm just looking straight ahead of me, and I notice that there's like a face in front of me. I'm like, why does he look like that? He looked like he just had a blank stare on him. Like, I knew he was dead. He had like no life in his eyes. Like, I like scanned the canal real quick, and there's pieces of people and people like floating, and the canal was all just blood. The dust cloud was still up, and it felt like there was like blood in the air. We started pushing Afghans back so we could close the gate. They started throwing babies over the fence wall, so we were able to catch some of them, and so some babies would get stuck on the barbed wire. This fucking dude's just trying to get it out. Some just would go right over. My name is Christian Sanchez. Served in the Marine Corps for 6 years. Got out as a sergeant. So I served from 2017 to 2023. I grew up in Bullhead City, Arizona for about 12 years of my life. And then my 7th grade year, I moved to Yuma, Arizona, and stayed there until I joined the Marine Corps after my senior year. We got to do the HKI mission, which was the evacuation to get our allies out, whoever helped us out, and some civilians with visas. It's the pullout of Afghanistan. I mean, around, July, the rumors started popping up of we're gonna leave Afghanistan, and like there was rumors going around that we were gonna go and do something in Afghanistan. Like no one knew what it was gonna be really. Like it was just like everybody started hearing rumors that like, hey, we're getting sent to Afghan, and everybody started getting fucking excited and stuff. And then I remember going in the cafeteria one day and seeing like like they would pull out a map of Afghanistan, and they would show like what the Taliban was taking over, like, so like every day, like we would get like they would, it was on the news, like they would show a map of all of Afghanistan, and it was like how much territory, like when the US started pulling out from the bases and stuff, like they would leave, and then like the Taliban would take over, and it was like that, like very slowly. And that was getting us excited because they were telling us like, we're gonna go, like we have to do a pullout or whatever. And so whenever the US pulled out of March Air Force Base, I mean that was when we got told that we're gonna go to Kabul. But I remember being so excited, like that we were gonna go to Afghanistan. Like me and my buddies were just like super pumped that we were gonna go. Like it was like everybody seemed super happy. So we didn't really get told that what specifically we were gonna go do until we got to what is that fucking base? Kuwait. Before we got sent, we were watching the news, and it was when they breached the speedway for the planes to take off, and there was guys hanging on, and they fucking like they were trying to hang on to the planes and stuff. Like they took over the airfield, and they like the Afghan civilians, they were clinging on to planes, and they like I mean, they couldn't hold on. Like they tried to hold on as long as they could, and that was before our company got there, like our platoon got there, and so we knew that it was, and nobody was talking to us. Like they didn't have time to, like we were trying to get like our own intel, like the see what was going, what they were doing, and nobody would, they didn't have time to answer really. But once we got to Kuwait, we got briefed that we were going to be doing just like basically security and pulling out looking for Americans or people with visas. So we got there and it was pretty fucking cool. Like well, I remember like they all packed us up, packed us in a plane, right? And we were all like packed, like basically a nut to butt, sitting down, and like all the chairs were filled on the side and stuff. And I remember like when we took off from Kuwait and we were about to land into Afghanistan, like they told us to go condition one as soon as we like got out of the plane. Condition one just means that your rifle's ready to go. Like you have a round in the chamber, and it basically means like you should be ready to take contact. And so that was pretty cool to hear that. Like I remember like being like all happy that I that I heard that. I was like, hell yeah, like we're gonna fucking get some or something. And so we land, and like you just hear as soon as people like walk off the plane, everybody's racking the rifle like to go condition one, which was so cool to hear. Like I don't know why. I mean that shit is just badass. It was just dudes like racking up the rifle as soon as we got off, and nothing was really going on where we like where we got out of. Like we just hopped out of the plane and some lady like came to greet us, um and yeah, and we just had to unload the whole plane, and we went and took over a gym to stay at. Like our company went and took over, there was a gym at the airport. Like the airport was like a mini city almost. Like it was like a small town inside the airport, and we took over the gym, and that's where we like staged all our shit. And we were there for that night, and the next day is when we got sent to Abbey Gate. So there was that was pretty wild. We stayed the night at the gym and then woke up that morning, got ready, and we were the first platoon. Our platoon was tasked to go and help out at Abbey Gate. And the company stole like a bunch of Vicks at the airport. Like we hot wired a bunch of buses and trucks and stuff, and we had like I think it was an ambulance that we went on. We took an ambulance to get to Abbey Gate from the gym, and as soon as we got there, we put our like day packs off, and a riot happened. Like there was a riot going on. There was refugees like trying to breach the Abbey Gate. It was like a big metal. It was two big metal doors that would close in on each other or whatever, and they breached that, and we got tasked to go help it. And it was as soon as we got off of the bus. Like we got off the bus, put our day packs down, and that riot happened, and we got told to go and help out, and we just like we ran about 100 meters to that gate, and it was pretty crazy. Before all that, we didn't do any type of riot control training. It was kind of wing it, because it wasn't really like, we didn't know there was gonna be, I guess, riots. Like it was supposed to be like, I don't know what it was supposed to be, but like go there and try and like find citizens, I guess, like from them. But I mean, it was pretty much just chaotic. But yeah, there was no like training to really prepare for that, in my opinion. I don't think you could. That would be really hard to simulate. Really. But it was just a riot, and but we had a gas mask on us, and so we go and respond to that riot, and this was crazy. This was like I remember running up, and we went and responded to the riot. Like we run up and we start pushing Afghans like back into so we could close the gate. And so it was probably like 30 Marines and 30 like British Marines that were there. So we had help from the Brits, and we were pushing them away, and we finally got it. Like we were closing it, and someone threw one of the Brits threw a fucking CS can to like try and do riot control, but that was like the worst fucking thing you could have done. Like it just pissed off the people. Like they made them want to like come in more, and so as soon as he threw that CS can, it just got way worse. Like I'm sure they started feeling like they were gonna die or something, but they started throwing babies like over the fence wall. Anyways, so people start throwing babies, but the thing that was crazy is like I remember seeing like so we were able to catch some of them, but like the ones that you didn't, I mean, they just fucking like died on impact. Like it was like they would throw them because the wall was probably maybe 13, 14 feet high and with barbed wire at the top. And so some babies would get stuck on the barbed wire, or like some just would go right over. And like I remember like looking off to my left and just seeing this baby like fly and just land. Well, just seeing this baby like land on the floor, and it just like stopped crying. Cause like you would, you know, uh yeah. And we kind of just like, so like they would taught, I mean it was a fuck ton of babies. And I remember like that was the riot where you see a fucking famous ass picture of this Marine like handing back a baby, or like trying to get a baby out of the barbed wire from that time. And that was at that moment. I remember like looking up and seeing that happen. And yeah. Like there's this baby stuck on the barbed wire, and this fucking dude's just trying to get it out. But anyways, so I see that, and then I see like this like these Afghan civilians that got through us. And I mean this was pretty fun. But this fucking someone yelled out, someone grabbed that guy, and it was just like this really small fucking Afghan dude. And I like tackled the shit out of him. I like went like picked him up, slammed him, um and I was like, stay here, and then just got back into the riot. And yeah, eventually we got the doors closed, and yeah. And we got the doors closed, and then we got everybody like out. We got everybody accounted for, and everybody was good. And I didn't know there was an orphanage the entire time, but my first time having to take a kid to one was there's a picture out there of there's a picture out there with Max and our team. Like we're taking a rest period, and I had just got back with this kid he was my first kid that I had to grab because his someone came up to me with his kid, and they just told me that like his parents just got like executed. And like he was like, I can't take care of him. And he's like, so I have to give it to you. And I remember like grabbing that kid, and I mean he was all shook, like he just watched his parents die. And I went and found my staff sergeant, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this kid. Like he doesn't have anywhere to go, and like what are we supposed to do with the kids? And he's like, just have him hang out with us for a little bit, and we'll figure it out. And we got told that there was an orphanage, and Lopez um went and took him. But we were like trying to cheer him up. Like I remember like thinking about it now, like we were just trying to make that kid like laugh or something, but he wouldn't. But yeah. So after the riot, we lost about 200 yards of ground, like of uh of space between us and like our next, like we wanted to set up a checkpoint like further out, and we had to do like we did it throughout the night, I think. Like it felt like a movie, like the movie 300, like where you see all the Spartans like lined up in the front and there's like thousands of people in front of them, whatever. And we literally like set up like that. We like chained our hand like arms together and we started pushing everybody back to get like 200 yards of ground back, something like that. And it took fucking hours. And the thing that was crazy is once we got to where we needed to go, uh, there was like it was pretty crazy. Like we pushed them, and then all of a sudden everybody sat down. Like everybody in front of us just like took a seat, and except for the guys that were standing, they were all Taliban dudes. Like they all had AKs on them. There was like a Taliban commander like there, and that shit was crazy. Like they were literally probably like 5 feet away from us. Like it was like all the Marines in line, and then like 5 feet away from us was like 5-10 feet were Taliban dudes, and like we weren't like supposed to shoot them or anything. Like we stood in front of them for a couple hours, and we were just like we made like a fucking like a cordon, I guess, like of the Marines, and we were just like waiting there, and all of a sudden this guy comes out with an American, like comes with a duffel bag, and he's wearing like he wasn't even wearing you. I'm pretty sure he was from State Department or something, but he like came out with uh his rifle and a duffel bag, and like had a meeting with the Taliban leader like in front of us, and they just handed him a duffel bag. I'm guessing, I'm assuming it's like money or something. I don't know what it was, but he literally just hands him a duffel bag, and about like 10 minutes later they like leave. They just push back like maybe 50 yards from us. We were like we got told we were gonna see Taliban, and like we were gonna see like them kill people or like execute people, and that we weren't allowed to shoot or do anything about it unless it was on our side of the fence. So if we had custody of them, I guess it was like now we were allowed if they were to do something. But they knew that, like the Taliban definitely knew that, because they would like purposely like execute people in front of us. The first one I remember is there's this guy, and he was saying that he was a part of the Afghan, that he was A and all this stuff, and he was saying that he worked with Americans and stuff, and we weren't allowed to pull out anybody that didn't have a visa, and everybody had them. Like it was literally a printed out thing, like piece of paper that says visa on it, and that was what they all had, and that's what the Afghan government told them that they needed. And so all of them like printed, it literally just looks like it was just a stupid like white piece of paper with like a green card, and it said like visa like thing on it, and we got told like those weren't even valid. And so it was kind of just looking for people for passports, or I guess if they had like some sort of other paperwork, like, but like I don't know. Anyway, so he comes out, and he doesn't have any paperwork on him, and he's telling us that if we kick him out of the base, that the Taliban is gonna kill him. Like that they're waiting for him outside of the gate, because they knew that he wasn't gonna be allowed to get put on the plane. And he's like, he just kept, at the time we were like fucking with the guy, like we're like, yeah, what? Because everybody would say that. Like, they would all say that, hey, the Taliban's going to kill me, like, as soon as we get off of this gate. And we're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, we're kind of just, like, brushing it off. And then, so, we set up Connex boxes to make, like, a barrier between us and the Taliban. There was a Taliban checkpoint, again, like, fucking 50 meters away from us. They would check their guys, and they would send them to us. So we put up like these fucking like these trailer or whatever, and there was one side that we would let people in, and then on the other side of those contact boxes, we would kick them out that way. Like we made like a small alleyway basically to get one person to just flow through at a time. And my buddies are like pushing the guy out, being like, "Yeah, whatever, like get the fuck out of here." Or whatever, and as soon as he crosses the barrier, a fucking like metal pipe like just like kills the dude. Like you literally just see this like metal pipe just swing and hit him like across the head, and he like goes down. And we were all like, I remember just being like, "Oh shit!" Like I guess he wasn't lying. Like it was, yeah, it was pretty wild. But yeah, like I became very numb to like like you had to be like very numb, I guess, because everything like if you just let everything hit you, you'd be fucking like not being able to operate there. Like you would just let shit break you or whatever. And we had an area where that you would see guys go to break down for a little bit. Yeah,
Or a lot of guys breaking down.
yeah. At least like for a little bit. Seeing that the the Taliban in front of us, it was. I mean, I would think about. I mean, just the war that we've been with them, and it would like piss me off just seeing them really, and like like seeing them and then being really confused at because eventually we got told that we were supposed to like work with them like while we were there, and they brought up a like Taliban dude to come and fucking like help pull guys out with us, and it was just such a weird feeling like having to help like work together, I guess. And it was just weird. It would piss everybody off, and then knowing that they're just killing people like right outside of us or stuff, and or in front of us, like it was very confusing, I guess. Because we just didn't know really what to do. Like like we kind of had our hand. Like it kind of felt like I don't know. Like it kind of felt like like we were just there to like watch stuff happen. Like I don't know how to else to explain that. So I was there for 12 days, and we so the first day it was we did that riot control thing, and then the rest of the days is basically just do like rinse and repeat. It was literally just um like watching like going and like just looking for people with passports or with visa, like an actual visa. And like during that, like you would deal with people dying, like waiting in the heat. Like there would be heat cases all the time, and you would watch like people go down. And if they weren't with us already, we weren't allowed to help them. So like we would see people like at Abbey Gate in the front, there's a couple like dead, like if they didn't get pulled out, like we didn't pull them out, someone would take them, but they'd be like the if they were there like all day or whatever and they died there, like we would just leave them there. And like they would heat case and stuff and die, and there'd be people like they came with like that went to the airport like like I'm sure I don't know how you could prepare for that, but um like no one brought water, and we didn't have water. There was no food to like pass around and stuff. Everybody was hungry, like the civilians and stuff, and us too. And um, we, or I remember seeing the first time, our first like casualty, like our first like civilian casualty, and like I was standing over our corpsman Max, and this girl, she was probably like 12 years old, like went down because she was heat casing. And all of them would, like, when they saw someone heat case, they knew that we would help them at first. And eventually we stopped that because people were pretending to pass out so they would get like help and stuff. But she was in our area already, and she passed out, and we were like, I remember seeing him like work on this. It was pretty cool to see it. You like one of your boys fucking like save someone, you know? And uh he's like working on he's like he thought at first that she was fucking around, and he's like hitting her like to get her to wake up or whatever. He sternum rubbed her, and then he like his whole demeanor changed once he realized that she was being for like she was not acting. And he like started, I don't know what he did, but he started going to work, fucking got her up, got her back up and moving, and she was like 12 or something like that. So it was pretty cool to see one of my boys fucking like save a life, you know. But he was doing that like that was his whole job. He was a fucking corpsman, and he was just like all the corpsmen were just going at it, fucking saving dudes. Max Soviak. Like at night it would get kind of slow. Like nobody would come at night, so like the it would get sometimes it'd get like pretty empty at the gate. Um, but this night was real slow, and there was this. Our platoon was like kind of relaxing on these concrete barriers, and we had a truck pulled up that had like a light, like what do they call like one like they just had like a light post on, right? And we would stand under that, and uh we were all just talking, and then this guy comes up, this Afghan civilian, and he's older. He's probably like, I mean, I don't know how old he is. He's probably like 50, 60 years old. He's an older guy, and he has a folder with him. He has a folder with him of like his passport and his like family's stuff, and he handed it to our platoon sergeant so he could check them. He was the guy checking all the paperwork at the time, everybody's paperwork, and like he like comes up and he hands it, and I was sitting next to him, and he comes up with that folder, and he's like looking through it, and where's the rest of your family? And he just goes like, oh, I left them, like it's just me. And he's like, what do you mean, like you don't want to go get them? And he's like, no. He's like, I just left them, like I'm trying to get out of here. And that shit fucking pissed us off. Like I remember because you would see that like all the time, is like it's just a different culture there, I guess. But like the kids and women don't really like mean anything to them, is what it felt like. Like yeah, like thinking as a dad, like I did, like from what I grew up is like your role as a man, like you're there to fucking protect your family, provide for your family, and it would just, I don't know, it just really pissed me off seeing how easy it is for someone like to just leave their family like that. Like one night we've had, so I remember the first time someone like begged us to kill them instead of like them get killed by the Taliban. Like it was our first night when we were standing in front of that Taliban checkpoint. Uh this civilian kid, he was probably like 19, 20 years old. Like came up to one of my guys and like just started begging him to kill him, because he like yeah, he just didn't want to get killed by the Taliban. Like he would rather get killed by us, I guess. But he was just begging to be killed, like literally, and that would happen a lot. Like people would have, like if they were outside of our area, they'd be like, just kill me instead of like leaving me or something. But yeah, um, yeah. But yeah, this kid was just literally screaming at my guy, and he didn't really know what to do. He was just screaming at him, being like, he's like, please kill, and he spoke English. He was like, please kill me, like just anything or whatever. And he's like, and if you don't, I'll like fight you. And he like started like getting close to him, and his, I don't know who the other people were, but or what like relationship they had to this guy, but they were like pushing him away, and then them begging us not to kill him, that he's just freaking out. But yeah, um, that one stands out a lot. So, the day that the bomb went off, was like just a normal day, I guess, being there. Just all that chaos always going on, and then we were getting updates that of specific times that the bomber was gonna detonate himself, and we were just trying to like it was just kind of counting the minutes of when that time would come, and so we had a like we were just working that day and getting intel updates about him, and we were just constantly looking. I remember just constantly looking out into the crowd, like trying to find that guy, like that anybody with that description. But there was so many of them with that description. Like everybody was wearing a brown man dress and had some sort of bag on them, and a lot of them had clean shaved, like fresh haircuts and clean shaves. So like trying to find this guy was fucking impossible. Like it from my perspective, like being on like in front of the crowd and stuff. Like there's no way that we could have found him really like through the crowd. I think like because I mean they all look so similar. Like so a couple we got to the time of when the bomb was supposed to go off, and we got intel that we had our jammers had already stopped a couple IEDs, and um our platoon was on like um our platoon got put on rest during that time, and we had our a different platoon that was working the front of the Abbey gate at the time that the bomb was supposed to go off on what the intel said, and nothing ended up happening. I remember like as soon as we took over, we were at the front of the post. We were like just standing there, and this kid somehow got to the front. He was wearing a like a bright red like Pokemon shirt, I think, and he was begging to get pulled out because we got ordered that we weren't allowed to pull out anybody anymore. Like we were just basically doing like gate duty. I felt like, and they told us we weren't allowed to pull out anybody anymore. And this kid starts like he's standing in front of me, and I mean just our whole platoon, and he's like begging for one of us to pull him out because he's getting crushed by thousands of people behind him. All the Afghans are pushing forward like towards the gate, and like you're seeing like everybody in the front, like all the people in the front of the crowd are getting pushed like onto these concrete barriers, and they're just literally getting squished and like constantly getting like pushed and stuff. So he's like screaming in pain to like pull him out, and he's probably like 7, 8 years old, and like he's just screaming, begging for help, and we watched him for probably like 15 minutes of him just screaming and crying. And the whole time I'm like, like the whole time I'm thinking like, cause I'm looking at the kid, and the whole time I'm thinking like, man, he looks like my nephew, um, or whatever. And I was like, man, he kind of looks like my nephew. And my squad leader like bumps me, and he's like, hey, like, should we like pull this kid out? And I told him, nah, I don't think we should, because every time we would pull someone out, like people would get, um, like other people would flow in with them. Like we would have to pull out his like parents and stuff. Like we couldn't just pull one person out. Like it was always, I mean, people have family. Like they're trying to, like they want their family to come with them. And I was like, one, we're not allowed to pull anybody out right now. And I was like, if we do this right now, like there's gonna Like we're gonna have to pull out a bunch of people. And he's like, yeah, you're right. And like about 5 more minutes pass by, and he's still screaming, like in pain and stuff. And my squad leader, my squad leader finally like decided to help the kid out. So we pulled him out, and as soon as we pulled him out, he's like, my mom, like we need to get my mom. And we're like, oh shit, whatever. And like we see the mom, and she's with four daughters or three daughters. She's got like two older daughters. They're one of them's probably like the oldest is probably like 15. Her second youngest is like around 11, 12 years old. And then she had a new like a baby on her. And so we were trying to pull him out, and there was like Afghan civilian males like behind them, and they noticed that we were gonna pull all those women out, and they were literally they were literally fighting with us to like not pull them out. Like they were like pulling their hair, like pulling their clothes, like just pulling them away from us so we couldn't pull them out. And we started fighting with those guys and eventually we got them out, and because we weren't gonna pull them out, but she said she had visas on her, like she had like actual visas on her. That's what her daughter spoke pretty good English. The oldest daughter, um, she spoke English, and so we were using hers, the derp, whatever, and she was saying that she had visas on her, so that's why we decided to pull out the mom. And as soon as we pull her out, she like hands us the paperwork, and it's that fucking stupid like visa paper that doesn't mean anything. And so we were like, we have to kick you out now. Like you gotta go. Um, like we told her that she would have to go like through the canal because that's like the safest way. And um, she says that she would do it, so we pulled her out. And yeah, so we were fighting with this lady. It's probably like a group of like five Marines trying to uh take this lady back in the canal, right? Like because we would grab people and throw them in the canal when we like if they didn't want to go out themselves, we literally just pick them up and throw them inside the canal. And we were fighting with this lady for a while, and she would just not. And we weren't allowed. The males weren't really allowed to get handsy with the females. Like we had like that was one of our like orders is like our ROEs was like we weren't really allowed to like handle the women, if that makes sense, like rough, I guess. And so we had a female engagement team that ended up showing up to help us out with this lady, and they took care of it or tried. And so like the my platoon went back to like being on post, and more people started like trying to break in and stuff. It just started getting more chaotic. Um, and I started noticing that there's a crowd like behind us, like behind the Marines and stuff. And I'm like, why is there so many people here? And like I turn around and like it's the female, the FET team. Um, and they're just like taking their time, like taking out that family that we asked them to throw out. And like the thing that we needed was we needed them out like right there and then. And we were like I like went up to the FET team, like me and a couple other team leaders went up to the FET team and like, hey, we need you to kick him out. And like she's like, all right, like we'll fucking kick him out. And we were like, you know what? I was like, you know what? I was like, we're just gonna do it. And we grabbed this lady, and uh we started like putting her over the the canal. And the canal had like a concrete wall on it, like it was two like concrete wall, right, to make the canal. We started passing her kids to her, right, the kids that we pulled out with her, and we start passing. We like get the little boy over. We get the two daughters over, and then like I remember looking at this female Marine, and she's like passing. I'm pretty sure she was passing a. I don't know if it was her, or I see this Marine like passing a baby to the mom, and um like the mom grabs the baby, and I was like, I like we're done, I guess. And like there was a fence that was separating us from the canal, right? And we made a hole in the fence, and I was like looking at the fence, like I'm standing there, like I turn around, look at the fence, and then all of a sudden, like I feel like I got fucking like pushed hard as fuck, and my ears are ringing extremely loud. I mean, it's just the e fucking like my ears blew out, and like it feels like my ears blew up, and like I kind of like am like confused about what just happened, and I'm like looking. I'm just looking straight ahead of me, and I notice that there's like a face in front of me, and I'm like looking at it, looking at them, and I'm thinking, I'm like, why does he look like that? Ugh. Like I remember being confused, like looking at him, and I was like, why does he look like that? Like he doesn't look like normal, and like my ears are ringing and stuff, and I'm just staring at this, like like this guy who I'm pretty sure was Paige. He looked like he just had a blank stare on him. Like he was like I knew he was dead. It was what like I was like it took me a second to realize that he was dead because I was looking at him um like before I remember looking at the female passing the baby and then like looking seeing Paige uh like awake or like alive, just fucking handling shit. And now I'm turned around and then I'm like facing him and like he just was like I mean he's just dead. I don't know how else to describe that, but it looked like he had like no uh life in his eyes, I guess. And I'm looking at him and over him I see like a like it looked like like flashes and I'm like what the fuck like is that? And I'm looking at it and I'm like and my hearing comes back a little bit. Like it feels like because I went like completely like deaf um when like when the bomb went off. It felt like I went like deaf and all I could hear is the ringing. And then like a little bit of sound started coming in. Like I just remember thinking like I think I'm getting fucking shot at and um yeah, like and so like I like all of this is like in a matter of seconds. Like it's not like like it like I don't know how long I was like staring at Paige, but it felt like forever. And I feel like I was just staring at him for a long time. But it was probably like a couple seconds, I'm guessing. And but I remember like seeing uh those flashes and I'm thinking I'm like holy shit, like I'm pretty and like seeing like a guy like there was a guy like behind the flash, I guess. And I mean I remember thinking like I'm pretty sure I'm getting shot at. And I like I try to sit up and it's like kind of hard to. And I go like this because I mean I had my rifle slung on me when I got blown like before I realized I got blown up. I remember having my rifle slung on me and like I like get up because I face planted from the bomb and like I get up and like I go like I like hug myself to feel my rifle and like it wasn't there. And so like I looked down and there was a couple like there's rifles there and I just picked one up. And I picked up the rifle, um got to like this I like walked over Paige and then got to like the wall of the canal. And I was kind of like in a, I don't know, like a shitty kneeling position, like trying to um, like be behind the wall a little bit. And I'm like, I go and, I fucking saw a guy shooting at me, and well, it felt like it was shooting at me, and, shot back. And I remember like looking through the scope, seeing him, and like he was on top of a house, and like I don't know what it was. It was like a fucking, I mean, a clay house, I guess, but it was like, I remember like looking at the wall of the house, like while I'm shooting too, like there was a fuck ton of impacts, like hitting him as well, like hitting around him, and, what's it called? And um, like I'm fucking pulling the trigger, and he just like eats shit, and, um, I'm like, at the same time, like as he eats shit, like my arm, like my rifle went down. Like I don't know why I did it, but I was like shooting, and then like as he went down, I put my rifle down. It felt like my arm gave out, and, like I didn't feel like my body at the time, um, but like he went down, and I'm like still like in a like half kneeling, whatever. Like I like scanned the canal real quick, and there's just pieces of people, and people like floating, and the canal was like, it was filled with shit at first, and then it's like it was all just like blood, and there's like the dust cloud was still up, and it felt like I don't know how else to describe this, but it seemed like there was like blood in the air. Like I don't know how to describe that, but yeah, because it was filled before the bomb went off. Like it was packed, like people were packed like nut to butt to each other inside that canal, and then it was like there was nobody there, like other than like them laying down. And there was like a couple people that were like fully intact, I guess. But everybody else, like, they got like turned into ground beef, I'm guessing, and because it was empty, like it looked empty, like from, like after the bomb, like it looked like there was nobody in the canal other than like the pieces that I saw. And I looked at it very briefly, and, so I just turned around, and this is all like in seconds. Still, like I'm not. This is like I turn around, and I'm like, I like scan around me, and like all the Marines, like I didn't see anybody like up yet, if that makes sense. Like I don't remember seeing anybody alive when I turned around. Like it looked like everybody was just dead around me, and there was Marine. We had a barrier to keep us from like separate from, the Marine, like a concrete barrier to separate us from the Afghan civilians, and we would cover down behind that. And I remember looking at that barrier, and like the all the Marines that were standing there were dead, I'm sure. Because I remember like looking, and there was like I like looked, and there's like a guy, um like pressed up, like he was a Marine, like pressed up on the wall, like, uh, in like a kneeling position, kind of like he got stuck like in a kneeling position. He was all limp, and I think the only thing keeping him up was his rifle, I guess. Like I think maybe the rifle like kept him up, but he looked like he was just like limped on the concrete barrier. And there was like the other guys were, like laying beside him, and, there was a couple like bodies on the canal, like a road, I guess. I don't know, like it was the canal path, like not in the canal, but like on the path of it, um, that dirt road. And, like I remember like seeing this one Marine, and he was faced up. He was talking, but he was like like bleeding. I don't know what he was saying. Like I couldn't really hear, but he was just like mumbling stuff, and like I was trying to figure out like what I needed to do. But I kind of yeah, like I didn't know what to do really. Um, but I'm like staring at this kid, this Marine, and he is like mumbling and stuff, and um like I just decided to drag him, and so like I grabbed him and started like dragging, and like it felt pretty light. Like he felt pretty light and stuff, and like I remember like while I was like dragging him and stuff, he like it still felt like I was still getting shot at, because I remember like looking around and seeing like impacts on the ground still, and like dirt kicking up, and I'm like going through like trying to get to the exit of the fence, because we had a hole in the fence, and it was like only one person can really go at a time through it, and we like I'm trying to get to that part of the fence, and there's fucking CS gas, like because we had CS canisters on us, and so when the bomb blew off, it blew up everybody's CS canisters, and like I'm going through that, and like the first thing I thought, I didn't think it was CS gas. Like I thought it was like it's something crazier, like I thought it was like a fucking like toxic gas or something, because like I remember like doing like a ID fucking like classes like as a boot and stuff, and um the night before I had like I was just catching up on my notes. We had a rest period, and I was just like reading my fucking notes, and I got to like the ID part, because like all I could think about was the suicide bomber while like leading up to him, like when we got the intel, and like I was just like for some reason I just decided to read up on my notes, and I got to like my ID stuff, and like I had a note on there that said like if it's like like I don't know if I had to do anything with IDs, but like my notes said like chem bomb equals like fucked, like if you like inhale it, like, and that was just like going through my mind when I inhaled the CS gas, and so I was like, oh man, I'm fucked, and I like I like freaked out, and well, like in my head I freaked out. I was like I need to get out of here, and I like started like hauling ass faster I guess, and I get to the hole in the fence, and there's this Marine there, and he's like, hey, I'll take him. You need to go to the CCP, and I was like, okay. Like, I was just like super confused, whatever, and like I wasn't able to talk to him. I was just like, I just nodded my head, and I was still from breathing the CS gas. I couldn't fucking talk, and like I get out of the fence, and the first thing I see is like a circle of like a Marines set up a 360 security, like they just set up like a 360. It looked kind of goofy because like anyways, but they like had a 360 security right in front of the fence, and I was like, okay, I was like, I know I'll be safe if I go with them. So I go, and I like lay I like walk past the Marines fucking holding the security, and I like go and I lay in between all of them. Like I go in the middle of the circle, and I fucking like look, like I lay down in the middle of the circle, and I'm like face up looking at the sky, and I'm just trying to breathe, and because I'm still like suffocating from the CS gas, and I'm like trying to catch my breath, and what's it called? And I'm just thinking like I'm gonna die, and like I start thinking about like my wife and my kids and stuff, and like I'm like looking up at the sky, and I was like this could be a good way to go, and like this Marine like ran up to me, and he's like, are you right? Like, are you okay? I was like trying to say that I can't breathe, and he was telling me, he's like, just breathe, and he was just talking to me, and I finally said something, and I got so happy. I forgot what I said, but I was like, I think I said, I was like, I'm trying to breathe, and like I got a word out, and I remember like learning that if you're talking, you're breathing or whatever, like, and I was like, so like when I heard myself talk, it made me fucking super happy. I was like, hell yeah, like I'm not gonna fucking die. Anyways, he like I'm like, hell yeah, like I'm talking, and he starts laughing because I start smiling like when I heard myself talk. Uh he's like, yeah, you're talking, and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, like I am talking, and like we start like laughing a little bit, and he like helps me up, and he helps me up, and like like I don't know, like I basically went like code black at that point. Like I was like went into black. Um like once I realized that like I knew my shoulder was hurting, and like I didn't look at it yet when that Marine helped me out, but like I knew my shoulder was hurting, and I kept telling him I was like, you need to go help my friends. And I was like, you need to go help my friends. And he's like, no, we need to get you to the CCP. And I just kept like uh repeating like um I couldn't stop like repeating like my friends are dead. Like they're like yeah. Because we were walking to the CCP, and I just kept repeating that, and I couldn't fucking like snap out of it. And he's like, they're all right, whatever. And I was like, no, like you need to go like help my friends. And yeah. And so I finally get like I'm repeating that over and over again, and um I finally get to the CCP, and I'm like standing on top of a or sitting on top of like a black fucking like a black box, and like one of those like weapon briefcases, you know what I'm talking about, but they're like 4 feet high, whatever, and I'm standing on top of one or sitting on top of one, and I'm like looking at I see my lieutenant or platoon commander, and I see him, and he's got his shirt like ripped up, and he's got like they have like bandages on him, and he's like bleeding from his arm and stuff, and like I'm sitting there, and like I'm still trying to like I start finally start catching my breath, and this corpsman comes up to me, and he just like unbuckles my plate carrier, and he unbuckles that, and like I'm like, what are you doing? And he just grabs like scissors and starts cutting up my shirt. And I'm like, holy shit. Like I saw this like hole in my shoulder, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, I'm pretty sure he fucking shot me. And he's like, yeah, he's like, it looks like you got shot. And we started laughing. And like when we cut up the shirt, like it looked he didn't like he like froze for a second or something. And this other corpsman like walked by him and was like, hey, you know what you're doing, is just do it. And he started fucking they put like a fucking ceiling chest wound, the fucking sticker. And he's like, yeah, you got shot. And I was like, and I remember being like like before we left to Afghanistan, me and my buddies talked about like if you could pick a place to get shot, where would it be? And I chose my left tricep, and it was like yeah, and I was like, I think it'd be my left tricep. That'd be like the good spot, like or whatever. Ended up being my left shoulder. But they make fun of me for that now. It's pretty fun.
Could be ring conversations.
Yeah. So it was pretty. Yeah, and like I remember like while they were working on me, I got like kind of happy because I like remembered about that time and yeah, and they're bringing in bodies and like uh they just start seeing like I just started seeing all the Marines and my friends coming in that like you would like I knew who like was already dead because there was no corpsman like working on them, you know? Like they were just um yeah, they were working on the guys that were alive. Like I saw a bunch of like guys coming in and I saw like one of my buddies who's I'm not gonna say his name, but he like he came in and he got all like he got real fucked up. Like he was like bleeding out of his mouth like as he was talking, but he was like uh he kept like reaching like there was like my staff sergeant was on top of him like trying to help him out and like they carried him they were carrying him and they put him on a stretcher and they were like over him on the stretcher and he kept he kept asking for his phone to call his wife and yeah. Like he just kept like he's like bleeding out, like fucking like hella blood just like coming out of his mouth like a fucking waterfall. Literally just so much blood like coming out of his mouth. Like he's like throwing up blood and stuff and he just kept like reaching up like towards him like and just kept asking for his phone. He ended up being a Bronze Star recipient. He got his Bronze Star because he carried out one of the females from the FET team that ended up making it. Um, he carried her. He carried her out, but yeah, while he was like all fucked up, and yeah, but he's good. he's he's I just saw him today, and then I get told that I need to go on this fucking Toyota Hilux. Like they're using this Toyota Hilux as transpo to get to the hospital there. We had a hospital. Yeah, so I'm in the Toyota Hilux and or I'm about to get in it and I see this gunny um on there and I like look on the bed and there's a like a naked dude basically. Like they stripped him. It was a Marine and pretty sure it was Staff Sergeant Hoover. Um like they're trying to get him to the hospital, and so like I hop in the fucking pickup truck, and then we take off, and we're fucking hauling ass in this pickup truck, and we're they're doing like CPR on this guy, and the guy the whole time is just like I felt like he was just like looking at me, and like I'm just staring at him because I didn't want to look away, like it was like yeah, like it just felt like he was scared or something. Like I don't know, he looked scared and was like he was just looking at me. And the gunny and the corpsman are performing CPR on the guy. And like about halfway there they just kind of stop like doing the CPR because he like yeah, ended up dying. But I remember like looking at him and like it looked like he was alive and then like all of a sudden like his like eyes gave out like I guess and yeah they just stopped like treating the casualty and then we get to the hospital and you know they tell me to get off and I do. They help me off and because at that point I'm like in the sling, like they put like a makeshift sling on me, and uh, I get I see my like I get off the pickup and I'm like I like look to my left and I see my my buddy Trailer. He's just sitting there in his underwear. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was in his like he had like the USA flag underwear on, and I go up to him, and he's a big reason why I would like start feeling normal again, I guess, like because I felt like I was like went black, like I was like like I don't know, like I was in shock, and like he kind of snapped me out of it because he was just he asked me like what happened, and I was like, dude, I was like, I'm pretty sure all our friends just died, and uh I was like crying, and uh he's like, bro, he's like, because one of our juniors was with us that got hurt with us, and he's like, bro, he's like, right now is like not the time to cry, or whatever. I forgot what exactly he said, but he's like, we need to be strong, like for the guys. I was like, okay, and that like snapped me back out, or he snapped me back in, and I was like, after that, it was just like getting treated. So we were at the hospital, and like they're just bringing in the bodies and stuff. And one thing that fucking pissed us off was the combat camera guys. Like they were just like it pissed us off that they were just like taking pictures of us. Like it was like it made us really upset. Like I remember me and my buddy just like being super mad, like watching this guy like take pictures of all of us. To take pictures of all of us, and like it pissed us off because like he was smiling while taking the pictures. It fucking pissed us off, and our buddy went to go and talk to him. He was like, he's like, yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Like it was just like I don't know, like that shit made us really hate combat camera guys. Like I don't know, like it was just like like at the time it was like how use like to us it was like you're so fucking useless right now, like you're just taking pictures, like I don't know, like you're not, like I don't know what we were expecting him to do, but like we were like you're just not helping, like it's so like why are you taking pictures? I don't know how to explain that. Like my buddy like looks at me and he's like, dude, he's like, I am feeling it now, like because they didn't give us meds yet, and like the adrenaline just started like wearing off because I didn't feel the hit, like I had like no pain for a while, like after the bomb, until I don't know, maybe like an hour later, like or so, and then once that hour hit, it was like fuck, like we really started feeling all the pain. Like our bodies just started hurting, and the shoulder pain like started coming in, and yeah, that was pretty wild. And like as soon as we started feeling, like we told the nurse, and they went and got us ketamine shots. So the bullet, what I got told was like it went in, hit my shoulder like ball joint, whatever, hit that, broke it, hit my collarbone, and then went out. Like it like just went like a zigzag real fast. Like I don't know how that works, but yeah. And but supposedly it shattered my collarbone and my ball joint, um, and then went out. Anyways, so they went and got us ketamine shots, and everybody was supposed to just get one ketamine shot. And when you like give someone a ketamine, like any type of meds, you're supposed to mark them, right? And they gave me my shot and they forgot to mark me. And so they came back like 20, 30 minutes later, like once I started feeling the first ketamine shot, and they hit me again. And they forgot to mark me again. And so I had two ketamine shots on me, and then I started fucking tripping balls. Like I like literally tripping balls. Like like a full on psychedelic fucking trip, like in the middle of uh all these casualties in it. Um, like like the thing that's like I had to um I had to make like a because I would come in and out from like a fucking trip, like a psychedelic trip. Like it was like the trip though was fucking ass. Like it was like I kept like it felt like I kept like reliving the bomb over and over again. When someone new would come in, like I felt like I would see it in like their perspective or something like of like how my mind would assume like how at least what I think about it now is like assume like how they got injured that way and then like that scenario would play like in my head and like that was literally the whole trip like it was over and over again of uh like me and that person's body like getting blown up and like all that stuff and then um at some point like during the trip they hit me again with another ketamine shot and yeah, they hit me again with another ketamine shot, and like I've just fucking it just kept getting crazier. Like it was like I had to make like a to get myself to stop like going into people's like perspective of the bomb. I made like in my head like I made like a mini me inside of me, and like I'm like just to remind myself that I'm Sanchez, like and so like I would like the way I would come back is like I'd be like I need to talk to like little Sanchez real quick and like to like I don't know how I did it, but it was really weird because I had like guys coming up to talk to me like my buddies that they came and visit, right? Like because they got sent to the gym after everything went down. And the gym was only like it's basically just across the street from the hospital. And so they hit me with the third ketamine shot, and I basically just started ODing too. Like I started fucking throwing up, and I mean, literally, just I could not stop throwing up for a couple hours. Like, and yeah, so I'm literally like in a K hole, just fucking tripping my balls off. Like I couldn't really even talk to people after the second shot because I was just literally tripping balls. Like it was the first one. Um, when they hit me with the second one, so when the first one started hitting me and they asked me if I already got a shot, like I had forgotten that I got a shot. Like it was because I was fucking like high as fuck on ketamine. And so they're like, "Did you get a shot?" And I was like, "I don't know." And so they checked my arm to see if like because they put black X's on people they gave ketamine shots to. And I didn't have the black X, so they just hit me with it. And yeah, and when they gave me the second shot, the nurse forgot to fucking mark me again or mark me that one. And they saw that I just had like I had no marks on me for the third shot, so they just administered another fucking shot. Cause I think I was probably like blacked out, like sleeping or something like while I was tripping or something. I don't know what my body looked like while I was tripping on this fucking crazy ass trip, but like um because to me, it felt like I wasn't there, you know, like I was after the ketamine started wearing off and I was slowly coming back. Like they moved us inside the hospital. They put us in a room, and our lieutenant got injured with us. And like he was the one getting all the updates on it, and he would just update the team leaders that were there with him. So it was like me and like two other guys. And he was telling us like the confirmed people that like died whatever that they could confirm that they're dead, and some people were supposedly like still fighting for their life and just didn't make it in the end. And one of them was Paige. Like I remember being told that like Paige was in the ER like supposed like fighting for his life, I guess. And um our lieutenant was like, but he was like, we know Paige, like he's gonna make it. And but when he told me that Paige was in the ER, like like I got so upset because like when I saw Paige, like I automatically assumed that he was dead just from the way he looked. And like I had a lot of guilt, I feel like. Because I mean it's just like what ifs, I guess, like play in my head of like, man, like if I would have known that he was alive, like what I would have like drug him or something like but yeah. And I mean mostly because he was like actually like my friend, you know? And like the guy I drug out, he wasn't like he was like I knew him, but I didn't like we weren't like friends. Like it was like I was his team leader and it was not like a friend thing. I don't know. But like choosing between like my someone I was friends with and then uh like another person, it was just really uh hard to decide of like what to do in that moment. And I mean I made the decision pretty quick, I guess. And so the guy I ended up dragging who was or helped drag was Marola, Dylan Marola. And he was one of the KIA. And then Dagan Page, he was the guy that like the Marine that I chose not to drag, and he also ended up being KIA. And I guess the best way to describe Page is he's like a fucking big ass goofball, really. Like he was like always like I don't really ever it was very rare to see him upset. Like actually um like mad, you know? Like he was always like smiling and laughing and stuff and fucking around with his friends and like yeah, he was just always goofy. He would every morning he would um like fucking wake me up, dry humping me, so he would fucking hit my vape. Like he would literally like every morning he would just come to my bed, dry hump the fuck out of me until I woke up and ask for my vape. Like and fucking it was every day. Him and um my buddy Colton and all them like it was yeah, it was always just fun with him. He was very yeah, very fun guy to be around, honestly. It's the best way to describe him. So while we were getting the names, that was getting posted up on the news, like uh and stuff, and I had my phone on me, so I got everybody to like call their like the wounded that were with me. I got them to go like to call their fam on my phone, um, so like they wouldn't be worried or whatever. But one of the things that happened was so there was a Corporal Sanchez, Humberto, who's KIA. We have the same name, so I was also a corporal at the time. So when Corporal Sanchez's name got brought up on the news, my wife saw that and like she thought it was me, and so she started like freaking out and stuff, and like she was freaking out, and while she was freaking out, I like right after she saw that article, I called her like in the middle of her uh freaking out, and I got to tell her that was all right and stuff, and yeah, so that was pretty wild.
What was that call like?
She was like I mean she just sounded happy to like hear me that I was all right, but she was like she was literally crying already,
and when she answered the phone, and she was like, and she answered the phone like, and like crying, and was like, uh, she's like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, and I told her like what happened, and she's like, "Yeah, we got the news," and uh, yeah, she said she was just like she could not stop freaking out that she had to have her parents like take care of the kids and stuff. And yeah, it was pretty. I mean, it was a good phone call for me. Like, it was like made me happy to hear her voice and stuff. And yeah, and but it was mostly like I was happy to give like my phone to my guys so they could call their fam, and like yeah, it was nice seeing that. Uh, so from the hospital that night, um, we kept getting told that we would have like transpo for us at certain like because we were waiting on planes, and and like we kept getting held back for some reason. Um, but eventually we ended up getting a plane for us, and they sent us to Germany first, and they did like um surgery on me. They basically just cleaned my wound, and they were cleaning everybody's wound, and then from Germany we got sent to Walter Reed in DC, and we were there, and we were yeah, we were there, and like the first day, I think, we got told that like, hey, like there's gonna be people coming to visit you guys, stuff like that. We're like, all right, and we needed to be like quarantined or whatever because it was during COVID still, and like they had like quarantine rules and stuff, and yeah, and we're like, all right, so we I mean, I remember just like watching the news. The guys were still at the airport for like another 2 days, I think. And um, one of the things that fucking pissed me off and a lot of the guys off is something that General Milley did. Um, because he was in charge of that op, right? And um, is like the thing that pissed us off was he like one, I thought like we weren't supposed to like negotiate with terrorists, and like somehow the Taliban got him to get the Marines to like clean up the bombing. So like and to clean up the base. So like before we were able to leave like Afghan, he made like the guys clean up, and which is like fucking gay shit. Like I don't know how else to. I mean, that shit pissed me off, and I can't imagine like for the guys there, like they literally they made them. He made them do like a fucking big ass, basically working party of cleaning up that base, like of the trash and the fucking bombing and everything, like at the request of the Taliban, and yeah, like it was a really fucking bitch move, honestly. Like, and honestly, fuck that guy. He was so disrespectful to my guys. Like, to one of them specifically. Um, like while we were at the hospital, he was cool to me. Um, but like I didn't find this out till later of just how much of a fucking dick he was to one of the guys that was like injured. He called him a bitch for crying, basically. Um, because one of the guys just came out of a coma, and he didn't know that anybody died. Like he didn't know that anybody that had died, and General Milley was like, he's like, "Hey man, sorry about your guys." Like, so nobody had told him that uh anybody was dead, and he was like, like he just he couldn't like talk or anything at the time, but like he like looked around and asked like, "What the fuck is he like he?" I think they had like whiteboards or something to get him to talk, and he was like, "What is he talking about?" And yeah, but he started crying, and just he basically like he supposedly what he said was that he called him a bitch because he was crying. He said he's like, "Are you a bitch or are you a Marine?" or something like that. But yeah,
Hmm. That's crazy.
yeah, it's pretty wild. After being at Walter Reed, we all got sent to Wounded Warrior and Wounded Warrior West, and and then they sent us from that's in San Diego, and then from San Diego they sent us to the one on Pendleton, and I fucking hated it there, like at Wounded Warrior Battalion. Like I don't know what it is or like what they need to do, but I think that like it's just not a good environment. Like as like if you're coming from like a combat deployment and you get injured from combat and then you go there, like nobody liked being there. Like it was like because you get the mix of like the other Marines that like got hurt like in like a car accident or something or like a training event or whatever, and like a lot of them just try and get out. And so there's like there's just this attitude there, like if you go there you're just there to get out. And like and it pissed us off because we were all still trying to like get back to our unit, like because they didn't let us go back to our, I mean they literally transferred us to Wounded Warrior. It was just I don't know, like a different program needs to happen or something there. But the if it's still the same from when I was there, like it was terrible. Like I hated being there every day. Like I probably like if it wasn't for like the situation that happened, I think that I like uh that I probably would have gotten out like at a like a for like a dishonorable discharge or something for how much I was like fighting with the COs and like the the people in charge there, because it was just like just bullshit all the time. Like it sounds stupid, but I didn't need like I like the therapy, like going to the mental health and like trying to get back at like therapy for my arm, right? Like that's all I needed really. Like but they would like I don't know, they would just force you to do like therapeutic things. Like I don't know, that were just like gay as fuck. I don't know what it is. One time I got in trouble at Wounded Warrior because I didn't go do like origami. Like they had like an origami class, and like it was like I'm not like coming back from that deployment, like I did not want to fucking come back and do arts and crafts. Like it was like I didn't want to like that's not what I'm there to do, I guess. Like I'm not there to do fucking arts and crafts. Like I just want to get better and get the fuck out of here and like never see any of those people ever again. And uh but yeah, it was just like while I was at Wounded Warrior, the investigation came out, whatever, because there was rumors going around that we didn't get shot at, and like that was going on, and like nobody shot at anybody, and uh, like but all the guys that got wounded, we were all like talking, and we're like, dude, we all got fucking like we all remember hearing getting shot at and stuff, and like like I only saw like one gunman, like right, and but my guys say they saw like multiple. Like the most I heard was four, and um, so I don't know how many there was, but yes, like we all saw um like people like shooting, right, and um
Oh, and you got a bullet through your shoulder.
yeah, and I got my fucking bullet through the shoulder, and everything on my documents say that I have a gunshot wound, and the thing that's like crazy is my buddy got a bronze star, right? On his bronze star, like citation, it's like um they acknowledged that we were getting shot at on the citation. Like it says with reports of a gunfire going on, like on his citation, but on everything else they won't like acknowledge it. I guess like it's really weird. Like I don't know, but from what I've been talking to people of like why they denied the gunman is because if we acknowledged that we were in a gunfight, that we would have to stay, like keep continue the war or whatever. Like we wouldn't have been able to just pull out and like not have a because it happened before in 2020 or not 20 in 2018 where we pulled out of like it was a smaller pullout I guess. Anyways, but the investigation came out while I was at Winter Warrior, and they said, I remember my, God damn it, the BC, he was the one that was briefing us on it. And I remember him like looking at me and being like, he's like, you didn't get shot at. And I was like, what? He's like, you didn't get shot at. I was like, oh. And we like, me and my guys, we all like looked at each other like, what the fuck is going on? And like they start giving the brief of the bomb went off and that everybody took shrapnel and uh that no one was shot. And yeah, and we were all pretty upset because I know one of my guys had a round in him that they pulled out of his stomach.
Really?
Yeah, like he had a round in his stomach and they pulled it out of him, and I'm pretty sure he still has it. Like they gave it to him. So there's that, and there's yeah, I mean and then there's the video. So when um the investigation came out, right, and then uh Wounded Warrior did their own investigation for us because we got a new BC at Wounded Warrior, and she was a lawyer, right, for the Marine Corps, and she would do investigations like that, like battle assessment investigations, whatever. And she was saying, like she was saying that one didn't even take in an account for our like medical documents. Like they didn't even use any of our any of the guys that got wounded. Like they didn't use any of the medical records in that investigation. So she runs her own investigation, and they deem a couple of us to have been shot. And it was like five of us. Just through all the medical documents, they deemed them uh like gunshot wounds. And what's it called? But so I get out, right? And I think it was last year, uh or the year before, no, last year. That video came out, and for a long like for a long time I felt like I was fucking crazy. Like I was like there's no way. Like I know like we were fucking getting shot at, and like cuz they said that all the injured guys were like delusional basically, like that we got like when the bomb went off, like that we basically fucking went delusional and like imagined it happening is what they said. And and I was like, there's no fucking way that was like all of us having the same like delusion, like illusion or whatever the fuck you want to call that. Like I was like, I remember thinking that for so long and like just feeling crazy. I was like, there's no way. Like I know for a fact that I was getting fucking shot at. And 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 I didn't know there was a video for until last year of that whole fucking the bomb whatever. There's like a video of the Marines standing by a truck, and they see the bomb go off behind them, and then they rush to over there, right, as QRF, and then you hear all the gunshots like is in that video and stuff, and that shit made me so happy. I was like at least it's like a little more real or whatever. But yeah. Yeah, so my plan in the Marine Corps was I was hoping to do like make a career out of it, really. I was on my first reenlistment, so my second term on that deployment. It got cut early. Like in the middle of my first enlistment, I was like, I fucking kind of love this shit. I want to do it again, like longer. And I decided to reenlist after my first deployment. And then my reenlistment package was to do this deployment with 2-1 on the SP MAGTF to make it to that deployment. And then after that, I would go to Edson Range to be a PMI. That was like what I asked for, and I got it. And I was like, hell yeah. A PMI is a primary marksmanship instructor. So it's just a coach. You're just a coach for the recruits over there on the rifle range. And yeah, so that's what I was gonna do. And so what ended up happening was, I like after that deployment, my Wounded Warrior, um, and being at Wounded Warrior, decided to get out. My plan, I did not know what I was gonna do, honestly. Like I was, like, the whole thing that I was hoping for at Wounded Warrior was that I would be able to keep my benefits so my wife could go to school. Like it was like because after 8 years of serving, you can transfer your GI Bill to anybody in your family or whatever that you have on your. I was like, man, does this mean like at Wounded Warrior, I was fighting for like to keep those benefits. Like I was like I'm getting out early not because I chose to, but because I mean I got fucking hurt, whatever. I'm like, am I gonna be able to keep these benefits at least? And he told me, yeah. I was like, so that was cool. And but like I didn't really know what I was gonna do. Um, after I still don't know. Like transitioning to civilian life was pretty rough. Like I was pretty mad that I got out early. I was just very upset about the whole situation. Yeah, I just became very angry. At like at everybody, I guess. I tried going to school. Like I did college for I think for 2 years, and then I was like, man, this ain't for me. Like I can't. Like I hated being in classrooms. Like I wasn't doing bad in school, but I was. I just hated being there. And well, I was struggling with going to sleep at night. Like I couldn't go to sleep, and my appetite got bad. Like I before we left to Afghanistan, me and my buddies we went and weighed ourselves at the gym before we stepped off, and like I remember weighing in at 175, and when I checked into the hospital at Walter Reed, I was 119 pounds. Um, Even like while I was at Wounded Warrior, like I just couldn't eat. Like it was hard to eat food, um, because of like the like certain smells will like trigger me back, and it just make me gag. Like I couldn't eat like red meat for a while. Like like I would have to like cook it like fucking well done as shit and fucking eat that, and it was terrible. And but I became very angry. I started noticing how bad my attitude was. Like I noticed that like I was always super tense. Um like I don't know, I guess like the feeling that I'm always gonna get fucking blown up or something. Like if I see like a Middle Eastern person, like I'm like, oh shit, like I need to get away from this person. Like I just get like a weird feeling that I'm gonna get like fucking hurt, like blown up or some shit. And but it would like just piss me off. I really struggled with being positive in like any way, really. My family started noticing it because I would I would basically just like yell a lot and like I always talk like I have an attitude on me like I was just causing a lot of anxiety for my wife and kids and stuff for a while and yeah, that was rough. And me and my wife understood what was going on a little bit, not really though. It was like I knew like we knew that it was like because of the experience and but like I didn't want to acknowledge that and like um like I hate feeling like a victim, I guess, or something like of that. Like it would just um yeah. Like I knew what was the reason why I felt like I was feeling that way, but like uh I didn't like want it to be true, I guess. The plan hopefully so I'm gonna do I start my like I help out with the nonprofit because that keeps me like feeling good, like knowing because I've gotten the opportunity to help some of my friends now through that nonprofit, and it's called Six Savage Souls Project, and we've and like that right there was enough for me to like uh keep doing it. Like it was like um the fact that I was actually able to help one of my friends like through a tough time felt good. And so I'm gonna keep doing that. And then as far as like a job, I plan on doing CDL school here next month or in October. And I want to do like truck driving to like travel the US for a while. For if I like it, I'll do it for a good time, and if I don't, I really want to go Border Patrol or ICE or something. Haven't thought about which agency exactly I'm gonna pick. That would be closer when that time comes, I guess. But I like the idea of right now of I have to wait. I have to do that year of trucking to help my dad out. I want to help my dad out, like, because he's a truck driver, and it'd be nice to bond with my dad for a little while and work with him. So that's what I want to do and travel the U.S. Like I almost fucking died for this country. I might as well see it. You know, that's what I've been saying to myself. And so the result of the evacuation of Afghanistan and Kabul airport was 13 KIA, 11 Marines, one Army soldier, and one Navy corpsman. Nine of those were from my platoon.